Many thanks for staying with us here on News. Now, before we bring you sports, let's touch on a couple of stories. And Asante Achim North Municipality of the Ashanti region, where illegal miners are reported to have invaded the Owere Mines concession. That's where we are headed now, and we are told it's posing a threat to lives of people who work at the mine. Sure FM Sohimi is joining me now on the phone lines with a lot more. So, are these illegal miners still at the Owere Mines?
Yes, they are still in there, working without any provocation or without any hindrance, and that is what they have been doing since. It's been almost a week now when they invaded the mine in their numbers.
so, sorry, but tell us about the situation there.
Yes, on Monday, officials of Owere Mines just saw a retinue of chiefs and the illegal miners thrown into the Owere Mines inside Konongo. And unfortunately for them, when I spoke to them, they told me they had no prior notice or maybe an arrangement with the illegal miners to mine in their concession. So they moved straight to the Fiajogwe part of the southern part of the mine, and that is where the illegal miners have pitched camp. As I visited the mines, there were more than 200, and the unfortunate situation is that when I tried speaking to them, they prevented me from. They would not speak to me, and at the same time, prevented me from getting closer to the mine pit. So what they did, immediately they entered the mines, was to demarcate the land according to Galamsey pit. And they have been there since Monday. And what makes the situation so precarious is that the mines security task force, some of them are armed. And these illegal miners also, they also come with machetes and other offensive weapons, and there has been some confrontation between them and the mine security, who has tried as much as possible initially at the beginning tried to prevent them from mining, but because there were many, they overpowered the mine security, and they fear that there have been some instances where the Galamsey operators have attacked them, leading to one of the mine staff injured in the process. So they believe that the presence of the illegal miners pose a threat to the lives and property of the Owere Mines.
I'm wondering whether or not the police has been invited into this very issue. Have they at all been contacted, and what have they been saying?
Yes, the police are in the known of the issue because on Monday, the mines officials reported the incident to the police and officially lodged a complaint, hoping that the police will react. But nothing of that sort happened as we speak now, until when I went to the minister, Mr. John Alexander Akon, who even informed me that the mines officials have petitioned the Regional Security Council to help them flush out illegal mining. So he said yes, respect will meet, but before then, he directed the Konongo Municipal Chief Executive to act in consultation with ISEC to drive away the illegal miners, describing the action of the illegal miners as impunity, because it says that the people should respect other people's ownership, right to ownership. So he thinks that the Security Council should act immediately and send a report to the Regional Security Council for it to also act upon the report. But as we speak, nothing more has happened. Nothing much has happened except to say that the Galamsey operators, their numbers keeps on increasing. I've been monitoring from the situation from the ground, and that is the information I have given today, that indeed the number has swelled compared to what were recorded over the week.
Right. Well, many thanks for that very update, and we'll be coming back to you for a lot more subsequently. That was Ohimite bringing us a lot more on that very invasion by these illegal miners on the Owere concession there. And he tells us that the Regional Security Council has been notified, and the minister has been commenting on the issue as well. Says they'll be looking into that very matter in the coming days. But let's now head to the northern region, specifically Tamale, where the management of the Tamale Teaching Hospital has set up a task force to look into concerns of laboratory staff of the facility. Now, the move follows opposition to the insistence of hospital authorities to proceed with plans to outsource laboratory services to a private firm. Workers at the department issued a 72-hour ultimatum on Wednesday to resist the move. Among others, they complained about the possibility of neglecting the hospital lab and job losses if the decision was implemented. Now, Dostos PRO Mohammed Misbah last week told Joy News management will go ahead with the decision despite the protest, though he did add that they were going to try and have a sit-down meeting with them. And there are a series of meetings currently ongoing as I speak to you in the hospital this morning between management of the hospital and the lab technicians. But spokesperson of Patients' Rights Ghana, James Tete, however, has a few reservations about this very issue and is joining me now over the phone lines with some thoughts on this very issue. So, Mr. Tete, good morning. Many thanks for joining us here on News Desk, sir.
You are welcome.
So, this issue that has to do with the Tamale Teaching Hospital and the general state of laboratories in Ghana, because you do represent the larger body. I mean, really, what's the problem? Why so much resistance? One would say, I mean, privatizing it for purposes, for efficiency purposes, it's a step in the right direction.
Thank you very much, gentlemen. I think that that question of efficiency should be properly situated, because my checks from the Tamale Teaching Hospital indicate that, and that problem is not peculiar to only Tamale Teaching Hospital. All across the country, there seems to be that wave of outsourcing laboratories and their services. And when you go in there, speaking as a practitioner, I know for a fact that most of these facilities, and particularly Tamale Teaching Hospital, we have equipment that have broken down. We have units that have run out of reagents. The requests have been sent to management, yet positive response have not been given to the workers. So now, if you have a worker, you've not provided him with the equipment, the reagents to work, and the person is not working, do you blame him? I would have expected that the Tamale Teaching Hospital will come out with facts and figures and tell us that, oh, we've supplied all the reagents, we supplied all the equipment, we've done everything for the lab, and we are spending X amount of money on the lab every month. But we have been getting a return of maybe Y, which is a shortfall of maybe Z. Then from there, it will make more economic sense to tell me that you want to ensure efficiency. In any case, what Patients' Rights Ghana is concerned about, it's not just about even the professional, but we're also looking at the patients in the three northern regions. Go to any private lab, and you know that the cost of laboratory tests in the private sector is far higher than in the public sector. So already we know from statistics that the poor in Ghanaian society are mostly in the three northern regions. So what becomes of them? So we are not fighting the management.
Mr. Tete, you do raise a very valid point there about the poverty levels of quite a number of people in the northern region, and the fact that they may not be able to access this facility or this service if it's privatized. Now, the hospital management, I'm speaking of the Tamale Teaching Hospital, management have told us, they've informed us that a lot of measures have been put in place to cushion these people you are crying for. So, essentially, does that not just end the issue?
What are those measures? Because in Ghana, we are good in speaking grammar. That so measures have been put in place. And you and I know from experience in Ghana, at least my little understanding of how privatization, starting from the 80s even up to now, has hurt the country. So we are very skeptical about that.
Okay, for instance, one thing the PRO tells us is that for all the services that hitherto was accessible with an NHIS card, they are still going to be made accessible, even though they are going to bring in a private investor or they are going to outsource the management to a third party, a private person for that matter. So at least that particular issue has been resolved. Is that not enough?
Our question is, how come the management of the hospital is not responding to the broken down equipment and unavailability of reagents? Because the lab men there are not there to supply the reagents and the equipment. They are there to provide the service with their technical knowledge. So for me, I am even surprised that that aspect of the discussion has not even been touched by the management. So the question of whether NHIS cards or not, have you also looked at the potential job losses that will happen?
Okay, so that's your worry. You are worried for the many professionals that are going to lose their jobs as a result of this privatization.
Yes, as a professional, I should be worried there. But beyond that one, we've not spoken only about just job losses. And even if you are looking at job losses alone, you know the problem of unemployment in our country today. The economy of Ghana today is not generating jobs. So, and the government is even concerned about the level of unemployment. Do we know the security implications of some of these decisions? From the poster of the PR and the CEO, I am not sure whether the main thrust of the argument is about efficiency, because you can only talk about efficiency if you have the available working tools and it is not put to proper use.
Okay.
As I speak, nobody has been able to convince us that the problem there is that everything is available and the lab men are just being lazy and they are not doing the right thing, and therefore the hospital is running at a loss.
Okay, right. Mr. Tete, we'll have to leave it here for now, but many thanks for your time on Newsdesk. We'll try and get back to you for a lot more subsequently. And James Tete is the spokesperson for the Patients' Rights Africa. That's the mother body of the lab workers there, and it has to do with the Tamale Teaching Hospitals, the management's decision to outsource laboratory services in the facility to a private entity, and it's raised quite a number of issues there. We are told that management is currently in a meeting with some of the laboratory staff tomorrow as well. We do know that there's supposed to be another meeting, and even this morning we were told the chief executive officer of the facility is to be in the meeting with the health ministry. We'll be keeping our eyes on all these very meetings and we'll bring you a lot more as and when we do have them. But time now for us to take another break. When we come back, George Addo Jr. joins us with sports.